All right, I'm just waiting for the loop. We're live. We are live.
Good afternoon, everybody. Here we are with another edition of your favorite show and mine, Diamond Talk with Toasty. No, I'm just kidding. What's up, guys? Yesterday, pretty damn good night. VIP ended up making like just under a unit or so. Couple losses that definitely pissed me off. Not to go through them all, but how Milwaukee didn't go over 7.5 blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind. The Rangers -1.5 was good for 99% of the game, literally after the first inning, and then it died in the ninth inning. Rays kill Waka and then lose the game, and they get. I mean, that's like the second time in a week now where I've had a team score 8 or 9 runs and then lose a game. That's a tough pill to swallow, but it is what it is. So let's just get started with today. And looks like Beavers got this first game up with the Angels and the Blue Jays. I don't think it's started just yet. So I'll just go really quickly. I'm all over the Jays today, guys. Jays on the money line at -140 or whatever it is. I think it's down to like 140 now, but either way, Toronto on the money line for 0.75 units. And then also Toronto -1.5 at plus 145. I think it's coming back at or plus 150, excuse me, for a half a unit. The reason that I liked Toronto or the Angels so much yesterday, which was a nice hit for us, was the spot that Toronto was in. They're not in the same spot now. I also don't like the fact that Ohtani was kind of bruised up yesterday. I think it was like hit by a pitch and whatnot. That kind of worries me a little bit to see how long he's in the game. And if something happens where something doesn't feel right, he might come out. But Alek Manoah is a guy that understandably hasn't been his dominant self like the last month and a half or so, but a guy that I do trust. And it's Ohtani on the road, a spot that we like to fade. So I think this is a big game for Toronto. Like I said, I didn't expect them to lose, 12-0 yesterday. Like, not a chance in hell. I mean, but I do think that they have a very good chance of winning here today because, like I said, I don't know how long Ohtani goes. They've already seen Ohtani this year. They've hit him, I think, for 4 or 5 runs. But either way, for me, you got to play Toronto here at home at a short favorite with their ace, their guy on the mound. Alek Manoah is their guy. So for me, I've got to be all over Toronto here today. If they end up screwing me, maybe I'll look to play against them later in the week. But right now, with Manoah on the mound, Manoah is the guy that I really want to target here. So I actually think that we're getting a cheap price with the fact that Ohtani's on the other side, but advantages everywhere else. Rays and Boston, as we were just talking of, me and Beaver are just talking about this game. And then we were just talking about it when we brought into the show. Obviously, the Rays got to Walker early yesterday, and then just absolutely fell apart when Yarbrough got into the game. It was just absolutely ridiculous. I expected Boston to score some runs, but I mean, come on, man. So now we got Jeffrey Springs, one of the young guns for Tampa Bay versus Dick Mountain, a.k.a. Rich Hill, for Boston. And I think that there's something that's kind of funny to me that you see with Rich Hill's numbers, because I've had multiple people say this to me today. Oh, Rich Hill's numbers, he's got really good numbers against the Rays. Yeah, all of those numbers are all 4 of those starts going back to 2015, if that's how far you want to go. All of them on the road. And if Beavers taught us one thing this year, that's one of the things he's taught us is Rich Hill on the road is a bet on, but at home, he's definitely not the same. So I'm going to take Toronto, or I'm going to take Tampa Bay here on the money line at -126 for 0.75 units. Because I think they have all the advantages again. I think they have the starting pitching advantage. I think they have the bats advantage, and I think they have an extremely large bullpen advantage as well. I think that Springs is going to definitely give them a few solid innings, a lot more than what they had yesterday with Yarbrough. I understand that he wasn't the starter, but that's just what the Rays do. It's just a weird thing when he pitches. So essentially he was the starter. Regardless, I think Springs pitches pretty decently today. And the fact that I really just think that this is a little bit too short of a line. Especially with the way that I keep on wanting to say Dick Mountain has pitched at home. It's just really hard for me to get behind the Red Sox here. So they looked really good last night, but again, I don't think they have the same success against Springs like they did against Yarborough. So I got to play Tampa here today.
It's always fading Rich Hill at home. You all know the vibe, people.
So true. Not going to spend a lot of this game. Phillies and the Pirates. I ended up parlaying the Phillies. I can't even remember with who off the top of my head now. Let me take a look. I'm sorry. Phillies and the Padres. Yeah, that's what it was. Phillies, Padres, moneyline parlay for plus 100. Don't take a chance in hell the Phillies lose here today with Gibson, who's actually been pretty decent for them. And then on the Padres side, they exploded yesterday. Do I think that they're going to do the same thing again today? No, but I do think that it's a really good spot for Darvish to pitch well for them. I'll talk more about that game later, but either way, Phillies with Harper back, they're scoring a ton of runs at home. I just think there's a small chance that they actually lose this game. So don't want to pay the juice or anything like that just because their bullpen hasn't been what it is. So they might win, 6-7, who knows? But either way, I'm taking the Phillies to win. So next game Beaver.
Dodgers, Marlins.
This game, man. Look, every bone in my body wanted to take Sandy first 5 on the money line at plus 150. I didn't do it. And the only reason I couldn't do that is because what he has, his history against the Marlins or the Dodgers is just not that great. I'm not going to go into the numbers, but there is a play that I really do like in this game. First 5 over 3 at minus 125 for 0.75 units. Just too small of a number. I understand that Alcantara and May, 2 kind of pretty big names. Some people might not know May like they know Alcantara, but Dustin May's legit, guys. He is coming back from injury though, so as much as you can say that the Marlins don't score, which obviously they don't, it is possible for him to give up a couple maybe. And like I said, Sandy doesn't have the best history with the Dodgers either. So I think that the Dodgers, I hate to say this, but the Dodgers could put up 4 runs in the first 5 themselves. I mean, we've all seen what the Dodgers are capable of, Sandy or not. So 3 is just too small of a number. So part of it is, like I said, I think it's too small of a number because of the pitchers. But part of it is I think that the books might be trying to tell us something. But either way, I got to play over 3 on that. It's that simple. I couldn't play Dodgers minus 1.5 against Sandy. I really wanted to, though, guys. I really wanted to, but I just with the 6. And the only reason why I'm not doing that, also, just to really quickly, is that it's a total of 6.5 in the game. So I just, if Dustin May wasn't coming back off an injury, I would probably be looking towards them. But it's really hard for me to get there today. And when I saw that 3, and it just stuck out to me. So either way. The next game up, Tigers at the Rangers. A little bit of a heartbreaker yesterday. I mean, I had a little bit more of a play on the Tigers or the Rangers money line and team total over 3.5. But the Tigers, Riley Green, that damn kid, hit a 2 or 3 run shot in the 9th to kill the run line. So what was going to be like a nice little profit turned into a tiny little bit of a profit. Either way, I'm going right back to the well. I'm going to play the Rangers team total over 3.5 at minus 125. And actually, Beaver, do you want to tell them your play as well? Because I kind of took this idea from you.
Yeah, so I'm personally going with the first 5 over 1.5. That's on DraftKings. The main reason I'm targeting that is because if you look at the lefties that are going into Texas lately, these dudes are getting absolutely cranked into a different century. 9.18 ERA, 1.92 WHIP, and their last 7 starts at home against some lefties. And I think Erod's just personally a little overvalued from his last start. I mean, let's just look at the last 3 times he's faced Texas. He's allowed 4, 5, and 7 runs through the first 5. I don't know. I know the line is a bit low, but I think that's more of an overreaction than anything. So I'm definitely confident in that.
Yeah, so like I said, guys, I think the Rangers probably roll here today. The only reason that I'm not taking them on the money line is because Dallas Keuchel's pitching for them. That scares me. And two, it just looks like a fishy line. Like, that's all. So I just rather I just want to just cash on the fact that they're going to score 4 runs and I'm going to cash a ticket. That's all I want to worry about. Next game up, Reds
Pitchers
and the Nationals.
Pitchers duel.
It is a pitcher's duel. I'm going to take Washington here on the money line at minus 130 for just a half a unit. Again, I'm just going to talk about it really quickly. Sessa isn't going to go long into this game. And then you're going to get who knows how long into that Reds bullpen. So some might say with Espino on the mound, he's horrible too, but both of these teams are horrible. So again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this game. I don't really love it a lot, but we've actually seen Washington hit the ball pretty well. They won in Seattle with a late inning home run and whatnot, but at times randomly they hit well. I think this is a day they could probably hit well. But again, guys, this is just more of a lean than anything. That's why if it's a half unit play, but I wouldn't be playing the Reds here on essentially a bullpen day with one of the worst bullpens in the league. That's how I'm looking at it. So the Mets game, Mets and the Rockies, and man, were the Mets in for a scare last night. That was I really thought they were going to lose that game for a second. They are freaking solid, but I actually probably have a play that might surprise people in this game. I'm going to go Rockies, Mets, first 5 under 4.5 at minus 115 for 0.75 units. I actually think that both of these guys pitched pretty well today. Freeland has a pretty damn good history against this Mets lineup. Now, obviously, anything could happen this year with the Mets and the Mets and the way that they've been playing and hitting the ball. And at the same time, Peterson's pitched pretty well at home this year. I just think that 5's too many. With yesterday, with the explosion of runs and stuff like that, I don't know. I call this a gut feeling, but when I looked at all the numbers as far as game logs and stuff, I just don't see a lot of runs at the beginning of this game. Maybe when the bullpens get into it, it's a different story, but I think that Freeland gives the Rockies a little bit of a chance today. So I can see this game being like a 3-1, 2-2 game going into the 6th inning. So I really think that if we're getting a hook here with 4, I think 4 and a hook is the best way to play it in the first 5.
I firmly agree. I like this play. David Peterson is solid at home, and then you got the Rockies on the road, even against lefties, essentially can't hit the ball, and the Mets who have proven they can't hit lefties consistently this year, while Kyle Freeland's better on the road. I condone the hell out of that play.
Yeah, well, and it's funny. I'll go into it a little bit more, but yeah, I looked at what they were doing against lefties, and I was like, ooh, the Rockies versus a lefty, maybe that's a sneaky play, and it's not. Trust me, they've been going like it's not as sneaky as what I thought it might be at all. So under all day. This is another game. Next game is Diamondbacks and the White Sox, and we cashed big with the Diamondbacks yesterday. I had them on the money line in the first 5 at plus 140. I wish I would have played them full game, but I was actually pretty happy with that game. I'm proud of myself. I patted myself on the shoulder to fade Cueto after all those innings and stuff. It went exactly how I thought it was. Honestly, I didn't think that they would score 12 or whatever it was, but I really thought that they would light his ass up. I'm going to do the same thing today. I'm just going to play an over in this game. This over 8 at minus 105 for 0.75 units. I was talking to Beaver about this game. Some of the lines are just kind of fishy. It's a game in Chicago in Guaranteed Rate Field, a place that I love to play overs. The White Sox, all their main guys like Robert and Sheets and Abreu, all of those guys are hitting the ball pretty well. And then the Snakes, I mean, we just saw last night, they're capable of putting the ball in play and scoring some runs too. So again, one bad pitcher in Davis Mard and a guy in Merrill Kelly who at times can look really good and at times can look pretty shaky. I just think that 8's a little bit too low. I was kind of expected 8.5 or 9 here. Again, I had to take a double look because I just thought it was kind of weird that it was minus 110 on both sides as well. So, I mean, Yeah, I just think that we see score. I think we see runs here today. I think both guys give up some runs here today.
From a prop perspective, the lines are very, very weird for Merrill Kelly. And then if you just look at this line at -110 against Davis Martin, that's even weirder. So, yeah, dude, the over here is a nice spot, truly. I think it's a bit sneaky.
I couldn't get to a side, obviously. And I was like, like if one team ends up, if the White Sox are more than capable of having a 6th run 7th at home and blowing them out. You know what I mean? Like we just see that happen all the time. So that's how I looked at it. Padres and the Royals. This one's going to be pretty easy for me, guys. I'm going to play again on the Padres. I'm going to play the Padres on the run line, -1.5 at -130 for 0.75 units. Daniel Lynch hasn't been as bad as what I'm sure that some people see his name and think that it's just like an automatic fade. This isn't really a fade of him. I actually think that he's pitched pretty decently this year. Doesn't have like the best numbers, but I mean, if you're only giving up 3 runs, I mean, you're giving your team a chance to win the game. But I think that the Padres finally got the proverbial monkey off their back yesterday, blowing out the Royals. I had the Royals +1.5, and I said yesterday that they'd have to prove it to me if I was going to play them again, and they proved it to me. So it got a little dicey in the 5th, but again, they came out against this bad KC bullpen and they put more runs up against him. So I think with the fact that they have Darvish, that now they can lean on one of their pitchers. Maybe, I don't know if you want to call him their ace because Musgrove's kind of like their guy, but he still has a lot to work for. I think that Darvish pitches a gem here today in KC, and the Padres roll again. So I'm all over the Padres again today, or here today, not again today. This game, man. This game, Cubs and the Brewers, this game is really hard for me because Drew Smyly has actually pitched pretty damn well for the Cubs. Last couple of times out, he went 7 innings against the Cardinals, only gave up a run. 5 1/3 against the Nationals, 2 runs. 5 against the Reds, 0 runs. 6 2/3 against Miami, 0 runs. 6 innings against Philadelphia, 0 runs. 4 1/3 against the Mets, 0 runs. I mean, Smiley's pitching pretty damn well. And then you flip it over to Brandon Woodruff, a guy that I don't really like, but has pitched pretty damn solid and against good teams too. So we did just see this matchup as far as Woodruff against the Cubs in Chicago. He went 5 2/3 and gave up 2 runs. Last year, he pitched against the Cubs in Milwaukee, went 6 innings, only gave up a run. This one was hard for me, but I'm playing the under here in the game. Sorry, my phone screen just went blank, of course. But whatever the under is, I might be able to have it on FanDuel. Under 8 and -115 for 0.75 units. We saw yesterday these two teams play a really close game. And I think we see another one here today. They know each other. These games are important for Milwaukee. Chicago's kind of out of it, but they're definitely going to want to play spoiler. But I think we see another pitching duel here today. Woodruff's been great at home, and Smiley's shown me nothing but solid performances up and down for like his past 6 or 7 starts. So I find it hard to believe it goes over. Milwaukee, I don't trust their bats at all. So you couple that with the fact that Chicago isn't scoring a ton of runs either. All 4 of their runs yesterday came from Ian Happ's bat. So, I think 8's a little bit too many here, so I'm going to play under.
It helps that the Brewers can't hit a lefty to save their life, too. I will add that in.
I forgot what their numbers was, and I didn't want to pull it back up, and so I didn't want to sound dumb. But I knew how bad it was. I just wasn't sure how bad.
They're real bad.
Yeah. I knew it was like bottom third of MLB bad, but I just didn't want to say it and be like, have somebody be like, actually, they're 20th. So, either way, Baltimore and Houston. God damn. Houston, man, lost yesterday 2-0 to these Baltimore Orioles. Look, this one was actually kind of hard for me because Kramer's actually been pretty damn decent for them. Your Quiddy's been pretty good as well. I just have a hard time believing the Astros lose again at home. do I want to pay the price, and do I want to lay, when I say pay the price, the minus 170 or whatever it is? I also don't want to pay lay up minus 1.5 against Baltimore, who's one of the best teams on the run line. So I'm just going to pair them with the Yankees in a money line parlay, and it comes back at plus 115. Or I'm sorry, plus 125, Beaver. 125, and I'm just going to do that for a half a unit. That's just me saying that I don't think that the Astros are going to lose again. I understand if you wanted to play Baltimore money line, I get that. I can't talk you off of that just because of a huge number on a team that's continued to win, but I have a love affair with those bad guys. I think them coming off a loss at home is a really nice spot. And then, like I said, with the Yankees, I'll get to them later, but they're playing Oakland. I don't think that they lose to Oakland at all. So I think we got a sweep going on out there in Oakland. Braves and the Cardinals. Took a loss on this one yesterday with the Cardinals. Did hit the over. And matter of fact, I have the same two bets as I had yesterday. Cardinals on the money line at plus 100 for 0.75 units, and over 7.5 at plus 100 for 0.5 units. Look, Jordan Montgomery has been awesome. The only concern that I have with this game in Jordan Montgomery is he's coming off a performance where he pitched 9 innings. So there might be a little bit of fatigue here, but he's been absolutely fantastic for the Cardinals. Like, there's nothing you can even nitpick with him. Charlie Morton on the road is an absolute fade for me. I just can't get there. His road ERA is almost at 6. He's only pitched at Busch Stadium, I think, one time since 2015 or something like that. I talked about yesterday how good the Cardinals are at home. If you're going to give me the Cardinals at home at plus money 2 days in a row, I'm going to take it two days in a row. I think I get one back here today. So I'm all over the Cardinals here today. I understand how good the Braves are. I understand that they have a 5-game winning streak, but the Cardinals at home are a different story with Monty on the mound. I got to ride them here today.
Giants Twins. No, I'm not betting that game. Now that I only bet select things, life is so much better.
Oh yeah, you're up in the palace of the NFL life now, huh?
Yeah.
This is one of the easiest games for me. I don't even understand how this line has moved down a little bit, but Twins minus 140 on the money line for a full unit. I really like Alex Cobb. I really do. I think he's going to be a guy that we can bet on for the next couple of years, but I am fading everything about this Giants team right now. They can't get out of their own way. Beaver has a play on Sonny Gray. I'm pretty sure, right?
Under earned runs. Yeah.
Yeah. So check his Twitter page for that. I was all over the Twins yesterday. Like I said, I'm all over the Twins here today. They had a nice little losing streak, but they play much better at home, and the Giants are just an absolute fade for me today, or just in general, sorry. So we're going to get Sonny Gray at home. I think he's going to deal for 5 or 6 innings. That bullpen's going to shut it down, and the Twins win easy again. So all over the Twins here today. Yankees and Astros, and I'm just going to leave it like I had it. Yankees, Astros, money line parlay at plus 125 for half a unit. Not going crazy because of what we saw last night with the Yankees. I don't really want to lay minus 1.5 with them. Will they probably cover that? Yeah, but it's not a place I just want to get involved with. We got football coming up. I'm just going to keep on kind of picking my spots, so I'm not going to make any extra bets on this game. I just want the Yankees to win this ball game. Herman's been really good for them. I think he had 1 bad start or 2 bad starts against the Mets and somebody else. I can't remember off the top of my head, but he's been fantastic. Aller actually hasn't been that bad for Oakland. But at the same time, I think that the Yankees should win this game and sweep them. If they don't, they got big troubles in Yankee land. But again, don't want to pay the minus 132. Don't want to pay the minus 140 on the run line. So if them and Houston off a loss wins, we're going to cash a nice little plus money ticket. That's how I'm going to play it. Oh, the Mariners. This one, I just paired the Mariners. Those lines keeps on going up. I thought that it might be able to come down, but Castillo hasn't looked that great, and that's where I'm just finding it hard that there's not more Cleveland money coming. Like, I just feel like this line is kind of fishy to me. Plesac I think is horrible. I really don't like Zach Plesac at all. But he hasn't looked good at all lately. I mean, 5, 6, 7, 8 losses in a row, something like that. He did pitch last year against Seattle. He went 8 innings and only gave up 2 runs. I'm going to take Cleveland on the money line at plus 155 for a half a unit. I hate this play, but I just think that Cleveland, off of 2 losses or 3 losses, I was playing against them both times. But Castillo hasn't looked fantastic his last couple starts. I don't know if it's fatigue. I don't know what it is, but he went into Oakland, took a loss there, went 5 innings, gave up 8 hits and 4 runs. No decision against the Angels, only went 6 innings, only gave up 2. Pitched really well against the Yankees, but 3 before that against the Yankees, 3 against that Miami. I don't know. I just think that plus 155 is too big of a number for a team that's playing as well as Cleveland has. Again, I understand that they've lost 2 games in a row. And I also understand that Plesac hasn't looked great. But at the same time, I think this is a pretty big number. So I could lay it with Seattle. I didn't want to play them in a money line parlay with anybody else because, like I said, I just think that the price tag's too big on Cleveland. So that's how I'm going to play that one. And that's the last game on the board here today. So I actually don't have a hit parlay for you guys, but Prop Beaver has 3, I'm pretty sure 3 different K props or parlays or something. Beaver, take it away.
Yeah, so I'll figure out how to get my pretty face on the screen the next time I do the parlays. But for today, I do have 3 parlays for you guys. I promised the last time that I produced the show on Thursday that I'd have some, and guess what? I was bumped down to editing duties yesterday. Didn't get to do that, but I have a 3-tiered approach for our parlays today. So first one, I'm gonna go with the not too risky, and that's gonna be your Quiddy and Gray, Sonny Gray, to have 5+ Ks. That's coming in at plus 128. Not too risky. I think both of these guys honestly safely reached their totals. Those are both alt lines, so I like the value that we're getting there. I love their matchups today, and I both bet on them in other ways. Now we're going to go to the risky, and that's going to be the same 2 guys. So it's going to be your Quiddy Gray, 5+ K, and then we're also going to do Kyle Freeland under 4.5 Ks. That's going to come at you at a nice plus 271. But if you're feeling super, super risky today, then we're going to do the same as the other 2. Your Quiddy Gray, 5+ Ks. Freeland, under 4.5 Ks. And Merrill Kelly, under 4.5 Ks. And that's going to come out to a sexy plus 673. Let me move the text down so you can see all that. Alrighty, but yes, Chiefs, I've put my masterful parlays together. I have confidence they hit today. I have confidence we're going to Cashville, Tennessee.
I also have a little bit of a hit parlay for you guys.
You do?
So I do. It's in that Cleveland game because there's 2 people on Cleveland that have very good numbers against Castillo. One of them's Amen Rosario, and the other one is Jose Ramirez. So we're going to go Jose Ramirez over 1.5 total, or over. It's got to be a same game parlay, so it's going to be 2+. So Jose Ramirez, 2+ total bases, and then Amen Rosario to get a hit. And that's plus 240 on the nose. While he's typing that, Amen Rosario in 14 plate appearances against Luis Castillo, 583, 643 slug, 1,000 on base percentage, or OPS, with a homer. Jose Ramirez has 2 homers against him in 12 plate appearances. plus 140, Beaver.
Oh, plus 140. I'm tripping.
You are tripping.
Alrighty.
I need money. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that's it for today. We will not have a show tomorrow. Actually, we probably won't actually have a show for a couple days. So we usually don't do shows on Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, I'm having a child. Well, my wife's having a child, and I will be with her. So all the plays you will get on VIP and stuff like that. But as far as live, I will not be here to do them. But Wednesday or Thursday, probably Thursday, we'll be back. Thursday or Friday, probably Thursday. I want to get back in here as soon as possible. So all VIP and stuff like that will stay the same. But do have to be there for when the child is born. It's my first one. So definitely got to be there for that. So I appreciate you guys all for showing up. DM me if you guys need anything, questions, comments, concerns. Can't tell me I suck because I've been rolling the last couple of days. But when I do suck, you can tell me I suck then. So appreciate it again, guys. Beaver, I appreciate your help as always. Thank you for finally giving the people something to work with. And I will talk to you guys all in a few days.
Everybody have a